What is a myth? Now, a myth is a traditional story that is told to explain something. And this story is repeated often and often to a point that it appears like it is true. But in reality, it is not true. And unfortunately, it affects our behavior and they affect how we respond to issues. We have been talking about suicide. And I want now, in this episode, to bring to you some common myths about suicide. And therefore, I want to ask you to remain seated there. Watch as we discuss some myths that surround suicide. We have said a myth is a traditional story that is told over and over again, and it appears like it is true, but is actually not true. Ensure that you subscribe to this channel, ensure that you share the content, ensure that you keep it here. Make sure you watch the first episode, which was about the definition of suicide and the causes of suicide. The second episode was about the red signals of suicide. So in this one, I want us to discuss the myths surrounding suicide. Number one, people say that you cannot ask someone whether they want to commit suicide. It looks like it is very bad. But I want to tell you, as a counseling psychologist, that it is much in order. You can ask a person. If you have seen the red flags that we discussed, you can go ahead and ask the person, are you intending to commit suicide? It is okay. It is not wrong. Myth number two. They say that anyone who wants to commit suicide is mentally ill. Now that may appear like it is true, because if you remember our first episode, we said one of the major causes of suicide is mental illness. Things such as schizophrenia, bipolar, mood disorders, anxiety disorders, and so on. But it's not every person who is thinking of suicide that is mentally ill. You remember we discussed other things such as issues of life that take us to a point of hopelessness. So it's not everyone who is thinking about suicide that is mentally ill. So we need to know what is the reason that our friend, or what is the reason that myself, I'm thinking about suicide. And so that we can be able to assist them. Myth number three. People say that if someone has decided to commit suicide, you cannot change them. They'll just go on and commit suicide. It may appear like it is true, but I want to tell you it's not true. In my counseling career, I have come across some people who have come even to the office with suicide notes. And we talk, we take them through the therapy sessions, the talk sessions. And they're able to see the world in a different perspective, and they abandon their suicidal ideation. So it is not true that a person who is thinking of committing suicide must always commit or must finally commit suicide. We can help them. And that's one of the reasons why we are doing these kind of episodes. Number four, myth number four, is that a person who is thinking about suicide, a person who is thinking about suicide is not serious about it, and therefore they cannot commit it. But I want to tell you that that is not true. We have had cases of people who have written notes. Some even have written on Facebook, and they are saying that I want to end my life. And people actually take a joke of it. They even encourage them. They even tell them, go ahead, what are you doing? We shall bury you on Friday. We shall bury you on Saturday. We are ready. And to our surprise, we realize that these people have already committed suicide. So it is very, very important that we do not take it for granted that someone is talking about committing suicide. So my viewer, I want to thank you for watching those 4 myths that we have discussed. There are many more that we can discuss. If you'd want to contact me, I'm available. Based in the Bazaar Plaza, Nairobi. We can discuss more and we can be able to help each other. Thank you. Ensure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you share. Make sure that you like the content. So we have talked about the myths of suicide. Thank you for keeping it in this channel. Make sure you keep it here. Again, we will now discuss about how you can prevent suicide. Thank you so much.